so this is Kaylee. She is a 19-year-old woman and currently in college. She is a college cheerleader who is living her best life, as this young generation would say. Now, Kaylee is way too successful to be single, so she's got a boyfriend, this guy, Mark. Now, let's just say Mark's the kind of guy who drives a Mercedes and thinks that it makes him cool. Spoiler alert, it doesn't, but Mark really thinks it does. Mark and Kaylee been together a while, so on one fateful day, Kaylee and Mark decide to head to a music festival. You know, party it up. Now, you know the vibe at these events. Rave candy, questionable dance moves, and a lot of bad decisions waiting to happen. I mean, some fun is mixed in there, but also we all know bad decisions happen with too much candy. Well, maybe the candy wasn't the best choice either, but I digress. So our lovebirds pop their heavy candy and hit the dance floor. Everything's what old school folks call groovy, well, until they bump into him.
Dun dun dun.
Kaylee's ex-boyfriend. Now Kaylee just doesn't say hi to her ex, she starts vibing with him and dancing. So Mark, being his macho self, well, he's not loving this. He's like,
why are you talking to him?
And Kaylee's all,
he's just my ex.
And Mark, well, let's just say his insecurities hit him and his Mercedes where it truly hurts. Now they both start arguing, shouting, and this turns into a big fight, loud fight. And even though everyone has had too much candy, it was noticeable. And then there's Kaylee, and she drops a bomb on Mark.
I think I still have feelings for my ex.
Yikes. Now, what happens next is murky, to say the least. According to Mark, they leave the festival, park the car in a random location, and have what he calls
consensual rough relations.
Yeah, nothing screams romantic like a Mercedes in a random lot after a giant fight. Fast forward a few hours and Mark pulls up to the hospital honking like a maniac. He tells the paramedics,
my girlfriend's not breathing.
They run to the car and find Kaylee. She's mostly nude, covered in bruises, and definitely not breathing. He says,
Kaylee overdosed on the candy she took at the festival.
Convenient story, right? They try and try. They try to save Kaylee's life 7 times, but it's just too late. Kaylee's declared brain dead from what Mark said was an overdose. Sadly, Kaylee's parents, mom and dad, have to make their impossible decision to take her off life support. Absolutely heartbreaking. Meanwhile, the cops pull Mark aside and ask, hey buddy, you know, what happened?
Oh, we took some candy, fought, had some rough relations.
You know, we were having sex, I choked her, but it wasn't like killing. It wasn't like that.
The cops, they're like, sounds plausible. Like, what the So they let him go. Yeah, seriously. But wait, thankfully 3 months later, the autopsy report comes back. And guess what? Kaylee didn't die from an overdose. Nope, she died from blunt force trauma to the head and face. Her death ruled a homicide now. So finally, now the cops are like, okay, Mark, time for your mugshot. They arrest him and charge him with first-degree murder. Case closed, right? Story ended. Wrong. Skip to 2 years later. Yes, it took 2 years for this trial to finally start. The jury deliberates for 10 hours and then comes back like, we can't agree on a verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, jury, I'm declaring a mistrial.
Mistrial. Yeah. Justice is really killing it in this case, and it's sad. Kaylee's parents not having it, and rightfully so. But these aren't your regular parents. Oh no, mom is a scientist and dad is an engineer for NASA. So they go full CSI and are ready to get the evidence they need for their daughter's justice. They study autopsy photos and reports. They build a 3D model of Kaylee's head, and then they're like, you know what we need? We need Mark's car. And they track down Mark's old Mercedes and they buy it from the new owner Mark sold it to. These people are not messing around and I'm happy about it. They even hire a private investigator and team to film a whole reenactment of what they think really happened with the evidence they've gathered. And this makes sense. Honestly, mom and dad deserve their own Netflix series. Meanwhile, as this is taking so long after the mistrial, Mark's over here being Mark, posting Mark Mercedes stuff.
Wow, 75% of people think I'm guilty. That just means 75% of people in the world are gonna have to suck.
This dude is a class act, completely ridiculous. Finally, after 3 years, the second trial begins. This time the prosecution seems more ready than the first trial. They lay it all out there, show the video of the reenactment, and how the injury fits with the evidence. So then the jury goes to deliberate. Everyone's truly holding their breath. The jury's back. The verdict, well, they find Mark not guilty of murder. Like what? What? I mean, who is Mark's dad paying here? Now, mom and dad absolutely crushed, just unbelievably devastated. Who wouldn't be? But wait, there's more. They do actually find Mark guilty of aggravated assault. Luckily, the judge seems to not be on payroll here and is not playing any games. The judge gives Marks the maximum sentence possible for this, and that's 20 years in prison. So, was it the perfect ending? No, but at least Kaylee's parents got some very much needed justice after waiting so long. Shout out to mom and dad for being absolute legends, and shout out to Texas for, well, kind of being good. Now, for all you guys that are watching and have been waiting, I'm finally at 100 subscribers on YouTube, and I gotta say, it's been one heck of a battle. I have no idea why, but YouTube just will not recommend my videos, and I really appreciate you guys who subscribed. And if you're here, I definitely want to say thank you guys. It means a lot to me. I'm very passionate about this, and I hope you guys enjoy the videos, and I am looking forward to expand and make my videos better as I go. Appreciate it. Thank you.